Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Peacemaker357, and this is League of Legends Champion Gameplay. Here we have Graves and Lulu down bottom against Soraka and Shyvana back in the bushes, if you can see her there. Notice the kick-ass watermark. We are starting a little bit late into the game, but I promise it's going to be a really good fight. So, we have Soraka going against Graves and Lulu. Shyvana comes in being chased by Maokai. Graves takes out Soraka, but with the turret there to burn down purple, Graves isn't able to survive Shyvana's ult. Neither is Lulu. And Shyvana, with her ult, is able to get a double kill for the blue team. So, as I was saying, we are starting a little late. We have purple team, or as I like to call them, Team Lux. As you're going to notice, they have the best... she is the best player on the team, in my opinion, versus the blue team, which I would call Team Shyvana, because she does a really good job of carrying damage and kills for the remainder of the game. So down here up here we have Vladimir playing against Malphite, City Malphite. Scuba Gragas, a skin that I honestly have never seen before, comes in to take out, or at least attempt to take out Vladimir, but Vladimir's able to get away between him and the purple minion farm. So Lux and Shyvana going at mid. Ezreal and Soraka back down bottom where they were. Maokai in this game for the purple team is jungling, which is something I haven't seen before, but it's actually working out pretty well for him at the moment. Dropping down a sight one of those bushes, Lulu runs right into Ezreal and Soraka and is burned down quickly. A miss by Ezreal on his ult, pretty poorly aimed in my opinion. But Lulu's able to get away and recall back to her base. Maokai was going to come in for that assist and try and save Lulu, but when she was able to get away and Ezreal missed that ult, he decided to cut his losses and go back and farm blue, the blue buff. So back up top, Malphite chasing down Vladimir. Vladimir is able to do a little bit of damage, get some farm before hiding back in those bushes. Sark and Ezreal back down bot, dropped a sight ward in those bushes to make sure that they could keep tabs on anything Graves is doing. A little bit of lag here, but we're back into it. Yeah, speeding it up. I was getting kind of sick and tired of just watching farming, so I guess this is the part where the audio gets really, really fast. No, it's not talking really fast. Oh, it's back to 1. Never mind. So, poor attempt at the chipmunk, and we're going to speed it up just a little bit, try and get the action moving. Sight ward in those bushes. Shyvana is able to see Lux, but Lux is able to outrun her back to his turret. So Maokai and Lux sticking mid. Gragas throwing barrels, getting a little bit of purple farm. Graves and Lulu teaming up. Still unaware of that sight ward, which is perfectly normal, it's invisible. Gragas barely missing that snare from Lux, dashing in, getting his ult, bouncing her back outside of range of that turret. But Maokai is able to dash in. Lux gets her ult off. Shyvana being snared, and Malphite jumps into the fight with his ult. They burn down Maokai eventually and are able to easily survive the damage from the turret being tanky. So notice the kick-ass watermark there in the middle. Props to a bowl of fruit for that. I guess I'm a little biased, you know, family and all that. So yeah, kick-ass watermark, and it looks like blue is going up to take out Dragon all at once. There's one thing that pisses me off about this fight, it's all the dinging. So, team fight starts up. Gragas, I apologize, Malphite gets polymorphed, and this is where I'm going to stop it to kind of explain what's going on here. This is what we call a team fight. Lux, Graves, Lulu, or it's Graves, Lulu, and Vladimir all around, teaming up. Looks like Soraka and Vladimir's got the blood pool out. Blue team gets the dragon. Vladimir's able to pull the blood out. You've got Malphite kind of staying away from the fight. Gragas comes in, dashes in. Lux gets her ult off. Vladimir running away. Malphite chasing him down, is able to get him, even though he's got the ultimate buff from Lulu. Shyvana is getting attacked by Graves, Lux, and Lulu. But as Graves dashes through the wall, he's only able to get a few attacks off before Shyvana and Gragas not only ult him away from them, but are able to drop the last barrel of grog before escaping the 3-man assassination party. So I was pausing a little bit because I'm trying to make this a little bit more friendly for people who have never played this game or are still beginners. I know I do have a few of those people subscribing, so to make it more, I wouldn't say noob. I'd say noob with an W and an N-E-W-B, newbie. Trying to make it a little bit more player friendly for them, while it's still at the same time offering good content for returning players and pros. Ezreal taking care of Giants for a little bit of gold farm. Vladimir going top, Soraka staying bottom. Also, I pop the scoreboard up once in a while so that you can see kind of what their builds are and what they're trying to do with their items to make their characters more powerful. I keep scoring now for a little bit just so I can have more of the screen to work with. But I offer, or I hope that you take the opportunity when the scoreboard does come up to kind of look at their build and how they're going and make comments on your own. How you think they could have improved, how you think they, what they could have sold, what they could have gone with, what they should not have gone with, what they could have replaced it with. It's a good way to just kind of experience what other players are doing. I will admit I don't actually know any of the people playing this personally, but it was the highlighted game up on the homepage, so I decided to see what other people were doing. So at 18 minutes and 8 seconds, we've got Graves and Lulu down bot fighting Soraka and Ezreal. We've got Malphite and Gragas coming down with Shyvana for a full team bot assassination run. Shyvana's unable to get Lulu anymore than just that bolt, and they hide behind their turret, but Gragas ults Graves back into the party, and they easily take him out for Shyvana's rampage. Malphite hits her with the rock slice to slow her down. She ults herself, gets bigger. Jailed is Gragas, and as you watch Ezreal's ult go passing by, he gets no kill. He does weaken Lulu, though, as you can see on the right of the screen. Almost gets that kill off Lulu, but she easily survives. So Vladimir taking the mid farm while nobody's there. Getting pretty close to that second turret mid. Lux getting that snare ult combo down like a pro. You're going to see a lot of that tonight. Vladimir escapes the incoming defense move by blue team and is able to go up, and apparently wasn't looking at his minimap because it looked like he was going for the blue buff. So blue buff given to Lux as Lulu and Malphite pass her by. Gragas and Malphite going top again, trying to take out Vladimir, I assume. Maokai and Lulu going down towards the bot red buff. Lulu chilling out in mid. Get a little farm action going. Gragas going back down. Looks like Maokai was hoping that somebody come in running. But Lulu gets that jail ult combo again off on Shyvana, who's got a lot of tanky items. She's going to be able to survive quite a few hits tonight. So blue team's turret has been down. It looks like they're down. Their whole front row of defense is down on the blue side, while purple still has their mid and top front defense turrets. Oh, those dings. There was a lot of dinging in this fight. So I apologize for the annoyance. As blue team gets the banshees down, Gragas takes a swig of whatever it is he's drinking this time, and the farming continues. Shyvana recalls back to her base. Lux gets the ult off for a quick farm. Soraka and Maokai run right into each other. Maokai just decides she's not worth his time, or he doesn't want to chase her into possible teammate, which was a good decision without Ezreal being right there. So Maokai takes out Banshees up top. Ezreal going into mid with Soraka. Shyvana going top towards Baron Nashor. Apparently they're going to try and take out Baron Nashor early. So Lux staying mid. Excuse me, got a yawn. Side ward in that middle bush, so purple team is definitely not going to fall for the gank attempt. Wow, the Maokai's minion can't outrun Shyvana. Soraka getting a little farm. The entire blue team waiting mid, trying to take out that last turret while the purple team comes back. Gragas throws his ult out, but Maokai doesn't bounce the way he wants him to. And It looks like it's just a standoff at this point, with purple and blue team just staring each other down in mid. So Malphite goes into those top middle bushes. And it looks like Lulu going mid. Excuse me. Vladimir and Graves taking out the blue farm. Shyvana going into counter and take out the purple. Kind of a stalemate at this point in mid. Don't really know where they're going to go from here. Not sure, I've already seen the fight, but that's not the point. Both teams trying to take out Dragon, or at least ding people to go to the Dragon. I swear, if that would stop the dinging, I would hope that they would all go Dragon. All of them. And it looks like I might just get my wish as blue team heads into the Dragon with that purple sight ward there. Soraka getting burned down by, or fighting Lulu. Soraka goes back to join her team, and Graves and Lux gets the ult. Oh, and Lux steals the Dragon from blue team. Oh, that'll piss him off. That's like sticking your finger up a shark's, or excuse me, an alligator's ass. Yes, that was an homage. So ult going on. Maokai getting his ult off. Shyvana popping hers. Getting the finish on Lulu. And it's just utter chaos at this point. Gragas and Vladimir getting kills. Lux getting a killing spree. Or excuse me. Lux getting a rampage. Vladimir getting a killing spree. And they're easily able to drive back blue team. Shyvana still doing a lot of damage. That ult for her dragon form with the trail of fire into the dash is really overpowered. Wow, easy farm for Graves. That's one thing I've noticed. He's got the infinity edge on, so Graves with an infinity edge, and the way he's building with attack speed and crit strike as he should, he's able to do some easy farming. Vladimir taking out giants up top. And it looks like Shyvana's still trying to get the team to go over to Baron Nashor, but they're going to stick with farming and team fights. Misses the snare there, Lux does on Malphite. Lulu going mid. Got the sight wards up, so no surprise there. Just farming in mid. So, if you look at the build on Graves here, attack speed, attack damage, and an infinity edge, it's really a basic build that you see every Graves do, and not because it's overdone or anything, it's just because it's the best one. So I pop up the scoreboard here, you can see the builds they've got going on. I apologize if my watermark is in the way of a couple of those items, but you can still check it out. Speeding up the gameplay here for just a bit, there's nothing really going on. Lux gets her ult off on Ezreal. Pseudo team fight here is it's really just them harassing each other behind the purple turret. Really looks like blue wants it, but as the blue team goes top, they catch Vladimir alone and they're easily able to destroy him even though Lulu pops her ult. Shyvana gets jailed. The entire purple team, but with the exception of Maokai, focuses fire on her. She's just too durable. Maokai getting assaulted by all 5 of the blue team members, and he is taken down. But not before Graves is able to take out Malphite. Lux getting her ult off again, takes out Ezreal, and Gragas gets a triple kill, taking out Lulu and Graves with a well-placed jug of Grog. So Shyvana, Soraka, and Gragas able to survive that team fight. They're going to stay mid and push Lux back to take out that bottom first line of defense turret. Miss with a jail. It looks like Gragas is going to try and harass. She misses with the ult. Takes a swill, and they take out the first line of defense in the mid. So looking a little bit more even with turrets. Purple's team still has one more turret than blue. And blue team goes back to farming bots right before they hit the recall button. Ooh, excuse me. So, Vladimir taking out farm in mid. Gonna pop up the scoreboard again so y'all can see what they've purchased after that team fight. Gragas buys himself a needlessly large rod, speeding up the gameplay just a little bit so that we can get back into the action. Less farming, more fun. blue team goes after Baron Nashor. Finally committing to it, blue team is just wailing on him. Now the thing with Baron Nashor is there are buffs in this game. There's a blue buff, which is more geared toward AP and magic, and there's a red buff, which is built more towards damage and damage over time. With Baron Nashor, he gives you a health regen, or a mana regen, damage buff, and health. So if you're able to get Baron Nashor early in the game, or at any point in the game, you have a serious advantage. The difference between Baron Nashor and the other buffs, however, is that the other buffs, when you get them, if you die, they're transferred over to the person that killed you. With Baron Nashor buffs, it's simply you die, you lose the buff, nobody gets it from you. So back to the commentary on the fight. Vladimir's able to blood away. Lux gives him a little armor, and the entire blue team stays in that river with Gragas trying to harass with his jug, but misses. So with their Baron Nashor buffs, they immediately implemented the team fight right after, and Malphite lost his buff early. Shyvana gets knocked down low on health and runs away to recall. So hiding behind their turret, as a smart team would do, especially from a Baron Nashor buff team, Graves and Lux hide behind theirs, and the blue team spreads out to the bottom levels of the map to farm, recall, and purchase items. The dragon, on the other hand, doesn't have a buff. But going back to my old subject, the dragon doesn't have a buff. He's simply a lot of extra money at once. Because he's not a one-person kill, he gives everyone involved an extra, I believe, 150 gold. So he's basically the value of a turret kill. So we're going to speed up the action again here so that we can get back into the action, get into the important parts. So Lux getting that jail ult combo again on Gragas. Gragas is hit with a ignite and is shut down by Vladimir. Shyvana gets polymorphed but is able to escape that attack as purple team comes in to kill the dragon. Looks like Ezreal's going to try and steal it, but it's too late on his skill shot. So purple team gets some extra money and blue team retreats. Don't know why I'm yawning so much. I'm not even tired. More Mountain Dew for me. So, purple team back up top. Looks like they're trying to defend their turret up there. Ezreal wondering why there is no Baron Nashor, and instead of an answer, gets a shotgun to the face. Yeah. That was not the best place for you to be, Ezreal. Good job. So, Maokai going back to his farming routine that he had early in the game, Ezreal using his AoE to take out minion farm, and we speed up the game a little bit more because, let's face it, even if you're a pro, farming is boring to watch. So, farming, blue team going mid, focusing mid, taking out their minions, trying to get a little minion train going to take out that other turret, but they decide against it and go bot river to try and outmaneuver the purple team, or just set up a site ward. So, blue team goes mid, and it looks like Vladimir, Lulu, pretty much the entire purple team is mid to face them. Vladimir goes in the blood, Shyvana comes out, ults are given away. Maokai pops his, you know what? This is a team fight. I need to rewind it so that we can see exactly what happens when all of this goes down. So we're going to go a little bit into the past here, noticing that, as I said earlier, we thought they were trying to push for a turret kill, but instead they go down and support Soraka so that she can safely drop that site ward in that middle top bush. So as you can see on the mini-map, purple team is starting to form up in the top lane, with Lux coming down to support and Graves just leaving the spawning point. Gragas gets a kill on the minions. Vladimir sees them down bot. He's going to go in with his untargetable blood pool and try and get some initial damage off after he's knocked away by Gragas' ult bomb. So Maokai launches himself in, immediately pops his ult on top of Lux, and Lulu gigantifies him so that he knocks the other team up. Vladimir is burned down just from pure damage from Shyvana's ult. The fire burns away, and Lulu pops herself over the wall with her flash. Graves runs away, and we're going to speed it back up after the 2 flashes go off as the entire purple team attempts to run away from this onslaught of Shyvana and Gragas. Shyvana gets a cone damage, trying to take out Lulu, but is unable as Soraka uses her AoE to take out the farm. So back to live time. The entire blue team waiting for that minion rush so they can easily take out that second mid turret. And they take it down in record time. A little bit of Mountain Dew. Good for the soul. As blue team tries to take out that third and final turret from mid, purple team comes back with a vengeance and drives them back. Fully healed purple team versus a weakened, though slightly overleveled blue team is not a challenge you want to take. So as blue team retreats back down to their half of the map, purple team farms some banshees, and looks like Graves is going for that red buff. Yes, he is. So speeding it up a little bit to get back into more of the action. Vladimir is going down to take out the blue giant to get the buff, but it looks like Lux takes it from him. I don't know if that was a take or a support, but it looked a lot like a take to me. Ezreal going mid to farm with Soraka Malphite. Graves standing there as the last line of defense against that minion wave. And it looks like blue team has decided they're going to try and take out top. While purple team stays mid expecting a sudden push, Graves recalls back to his spawn point. And purple team kinda going towards top, but not really there until now when blue team appears and goes straight for that turret. Maokai not waiting to go in by himself. Gragas is able to burn down that turret. Looks like Maokai wanted to go in and take them out, try to defend, but with no support he knew he had no chance against most of the, now all, of the blue team. So Shyvana attempting to get a dash over the wall, isn't able to target anybody. And Gragas dashes his way through the wall to get up there faster. Maokai appears and Shyvana is only able to get him with a skill shot. Unable to really chase him down or bring him back in for an assassination. Purple team trying to form up and figure out a plan of attack. Looks like they're going to spread out. No, they're going to go top as all of blue team stays right around the Baron Nashor area. So Shyvana, popping her speed buff, chases after Maokai, hits him with the skill shot, and the purple team comes around. As Ezreal is hit with a jail, is able to flash away from the ult from Lux, and Shyvana getting a Q. Gragas is jailed. Shyvana is transmogrified. Yep, I play well. Maokai is able to dash through the wall, and it looks like the blue team is going to reform and go down. Not sure if they're going to try and retake Baron Nashor for the second time in this game. No. Purple team or Maokai himself is dropping his little minions down there so he can get sight on whether or not the blue team is attempting to take Baron Nashor again, which is a very good plan, because if the blue team was able to take Baron Nashor now, they'd be buffed enough to probably run all over the purple team. So blue team, considering it, traveling as a pack, they're going to go back down, and it looks like Gragas is just going to go for the blue buff. So purple team not really deciding whether or not they want to go for Baron Nashor, or if they want to wait for blue team to show up so that they can take him out. But it looks like they're going to implement a team fight. No, blue team is not going to take Baron Nashor, and purple team is not going to go in to try and stop them. So Graves trying to dash away from the fight as Shyvana almost gets him. Soraka getting her AoE down. Vladimir was almost able to get away, but he was ignited and the true damage burned him down. Lulu is... no. Wow. They're just getting lucky survival all over the place as Shyvana barely misses on 3 kills, even in her ult form. So in frustration, she beats a couple of dogs. How nice of you, Shyvana. Blue team going back down to take out the dragon for that extra cash. And looks like the purple team now is trying to get everybody built up to take out Baron Nashor themselves. So blue team going bot, trying to take out that final turret. Purple team, not really sure if they want to go for Baron or defend that turret. It looks like Lux almost went for the turret. Maokai recalled. Lux and Lulu are going to go and try and defend their final turret and bot, with Maokai dashing his way down there to be the first line of defense. So Sight Ward is dropped. Maokai uses his ult to absorb some damage, pops. Lux blasts her ult, hits Gragas, but Graves is able to get the final hit as Malphite is just torn up by the entire team. Soraka is jailed. Vladimir is able to get the double kill. Ezreal is able to get the final kill on Lulu. Graves is able to get the cone kill on Ezreal as revenge for Lulu. And Shyvana is the only survivor of the team as she's able to make her way down to bot. So the remaining 4 players in purple team, barely scathed at all, are going to go straight for Baron Nashor. I mean, that's not even questionable. With a 25-second delay for even the fastest champion to revive, this is the perfect opportunity purple team has to take out Baron Nashor. No interference. 1 player still alive on the blue team who looks like she's just jungling to try and get some money. And the purple team was able to take a mid to late game Baron Nashor kill. I'll give you a hint in this case, if you haven't already looked at the time on the YouTube video. It's late game Baron Nashor kill. So Graves, building what looks to be crit and attack speed, is absolutely mowing down anything and everything in his way. Just like the Vietnam skin that he has, he'd tell you himself, you want to know what the difference between killing champions and killing minions is? You just lead the minions a little bit less. So Lux getting that ult, and now she has the Nashor and blue buff as the purple team tries to figure out what their next plan of attack is. Running back to your spawn point is probably not the best idea, but it looks like that's what they're content to do. So blue team forming up in the middle, taking out a little bit of jungle. Shyvana going back towards the Nashor area. Apparently she doesn't realize that the minimap tells you whether or not Baron Nashor is alive. Blue farm up there. Purple team still trying to figure out what they want to do. Shyvana staying up top, trying to get the blue team to go up with her. And it looks like she's able to get Ezreal and Malphite to join her up top for a push. So Lux, Lulu, and Maokai going mid. Graves following Lux. They're able to wipe out that minion farm and potentially push a little bit further. Blue team up top decides against pushing top and decides to go back down to mid and defend their second middle turret as Maokai gets fed up waiting for a minion farm and decides that there are enough champions just to burn the tower down itself. So blue team's second turret mid is broken away, and Soraka tries to defend from the wave taking out their final middle turret. So purple team trying to go bot to take out that turret. Blue team knows they're going as this implements another team fight. Malphite knocking up most of the team. Lux trying to get her ult onto Maokai. Vladimir turns into a pool of blood to be untargetable. And oh, look at this. Vladimir takes out Gragas. Malphite takes out Vladimir. Shyvana is able to survive 4 players until Lux finally gets the shutdown. That Shyvana is built. Look at that. Oh, that's why, because she had a Guardian Angel. So the Guardian Angel, basically, she dies and she gets resurrected with 20% of all of her stats. And that's what made her so tanky against the entire team. So with Shyvana and Gragas, arguably the 2 best players dead for the next 25 seconds, purple team does have an opportunity to push, but they realized that the entire blue team was probably going to be coming after them, and likely they are. So as purple team all recalls back to their base, with the exception of Lux, they go back to getting a little bit of farm up top. Graves looks like he's trying to go down mid, lead the team in the final assault. And this here is basically what's going to decide it. I would say the next team fight is whether or not one team or another surrenders. At the moment now, I'd say purple team has the advantage, but I've seen how terrible that Shyvana can be when she gets her ult off, and I wouldn't count either team out at this point. I mean, purple team has been dominating to an extent, but let's look at the builds. So it looks like Shyvana with only 2 deaths, Lux with none at all, with a Rabadon's death cap even, and an hourglass. Lux, like I said, is the MVP for the purple team, in my opinion. She's been doing an outstanding job this game, and Shyvana likewise. So the purple team builds up, and the blue team goes mid for the what looks to be the final fight, and no. The blue team retreats, and the purple team does not chase. So purple team all convening to go past dragon. Oh, I resigned that statement. They do a quick farm on the dragon, maybe just for a little extra gold to show off in the blue team's face. As purple team goes bot, Graves making quick work of that minion wave right next to that pretty logo. And the blue team in the bushes is noticed. Malphite running right into Maokai. Maokai coming in. Lux hitting her ult off. Lulu's ult popping off. Vladimir using his pool of blood. Maokai using his ult to blow up. Vladimir taking out Malphite. Graves getting a double kill. Soraka trying to escape, but is trapped by Lux, and Vladimir makes quick work of her. So as the purple team takes out that third bottom turret, looks like the base bottom turret is the only thing standing between them and the inhibitor. But with the entire team dead for the next 40 seconds, I'm calling it purple team victory. There goes one turret. There goes an inhibitor. And there goes one turret. There goes another turret. And there goes the home base. A little show off ult from Lux. That ends the game.